Somebody asked me the question, should we have a purpose for life? Or should life just be lived? जिंदगी का मकसद क्या, जरूरत क्या है? Why should there be purpose? Enjoy life. Life is just to have fun, to live. Unfortunately, life cannot be unless there is a purpose. Because if there is no purpose of life, then we drift and we get into a wrong cycle. We get into a reverse cycle, and that cycle will take us away. It will make us suffer. The challenge for us is to be able to understand why we are here. What is the reason? Do you think we all came here just like that? Sometimes have you stopped to think one human being, how much effort it takes to create 30 trillion cells? In one human being, there are 30 trillion cells. Then there are eyes. Each eye is a 576 megapixel camera. हमारे मोबाइल फोन में cameras are 10 megapixel, 20 megapixel. The nose, it can detect, I hear up to 1 million smells. The nose can detect 1 million smells. The ears, the vocal cord, the vocal cord, how it can speak and sing. Have you ever thought of the brain, the heart, the kidneys, the lungs, the intestines? Have you ever stopped to think, how did all this happen? How did one cell in my mother's womb grow into a body? How did this magic happen? When the child is born, is that child meant just to live and to die? Or is there a purpose? So we human beings don't realize this. The goal of our life is enlightenment, is realization. And this session of Ask Air therefore becomes very important to me. I do many things. I write books, I do record talks, I write bhajans. But to me, this session of Ask Air becomes a very important session. So let us start with questions and answers. Sanjay Das.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam.
Today I have two questions. First, as you told, we are doing this meditation. I am doing early morning, 4 o'clock, which is very much fantastic. For at least 15 minutes, I am able to do. Secondly, chanting. Chanting also I am doing for an hour. So both these things are spiritually because we feel very good after this, after 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Exactly what is happening in our body and heart and spiritually, sir.
So Sanjay Das, I will only talk to you practically. इतना आपको समझ में आया ना? I will not tell you some fairy tales. मैं आपको कुछ story नहीं बताऊंगा. So when you are at 4 o'clock in the morning, first of all, there is peace. There is no mobile phone. There is nobody. There is silence. Even the birds are sleeping.
Yes.
When you are in that sense of complete stillness, it is at that time that your mind is asleep. Your mind is not active. Your mind is not disturbed. Your mind has woken up after resting. And when you get into a silence at that time, it means you are entering a state of consciousness.
Wow.
Without your realizing it, you are आपको पता नहीं है. You don't even know it. But you are getting into a state of stillness, complete stillness. The mind is still. And you experience divine peace. That peace is priceless. That peace you can't,
Yes.
That's why you're feeling so good. What you're telling me, I'm only explaining what you're feeling. And I hope it's correct the way I'm trying to explain to you. Now, as you spend the time in silence, you say you start chanting. So when you start chanting, what do you chant? Which mantra you chant?
That is a Buddhist Namya Renge Kyo.
Okay. Say it, please say it 2-3 times. 2 बार बोलो. 2 बार बोलिए.
Namya Renge Kyo. It is, we are offering this thing to the Lotus Sutra
No, please
of
repeat.
Gautam
Repeat
Buddha.
it. Please chant 2-3
Namya
times.
Renge Kyo, Namya 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 Renge Kyo.
Good. Now, what's happening, Sanjay? When you're saying nam yo, ringing yo, nam yo, ringing yo, nam yo, ringing yo, nam yo, ringing yo, you are not giving chance for your mind to wander.
Yes.
Your mind is got, otherwise you will be saying nam yo, ringing yo, masala dosa, idli. Do you say like that? Masala dosa, idli? You don't say, because your mind is engaged in the mantra. The meaning of mantra is man, mind, tra, instrument. You're using a mantra. By using the mantra, you have locked the mind. Nam yo ringing yo, 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 nam yo. It may mean anything. You can say any mantra, but practically you are engaging the mind into a silent journey. And that is why you are experiencing peace and tranquility. There is no fear, there is no worry, there is no anxiety. Please continue it. It is the right thing to do. Please continue. Do you want me to explain anything further? Should I explain anything further, or you have understood?
No, it's very wonderfully explained, sir. I am very much happy.
Thank you. Please continue what you're doing. Please continue.
Surely, sir. Surely. Thank you, Guru.
Next, Navjot.
My question is enlightenment a personal experience?
Is enlightenment a personal experience? Navjot, you must understand the meaning of enlightenment. Enlightenment means to switch on the light. If suppose I switch off the light, can you see me?
No.
You cannot see me because I switched off the light.
Yes.
Now, when you switch on the light, you can see me. Like that, enlightenment is when it is switching on the light inside your soul, inside of you, and you realize the whole truth about life.
So will that give answers to all questions?
I didn't get you.
Does enlightenment give answer to all our questions?
Yes, because enlightenment will switch on the light, and in that light, you will see all the answers. Enlightenment will just switch on the light of consciousness. Enlightenment happens only when you get all the answers. You gave a reverse, and what you said was reverse. You said when we get enlightenment, will we get all the answers? That is not right. What is right is when we get all the answers, then we get enlightenment.
Okay.
Are you understanding? That's why we are covering every Friday the 100 realizations of the spiritual jigsaw puzzle. Book should be called 100 realizations of the spiritual jigsaw puzzle. So we are doing that book, and those 100 realizations lead to enlightenment.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Next question.
No.
Ajitek Dada is asking me where I am. That's the question I see. Ajitek, I am in Pahalgam, in the beautiful place of Kashmir. And some people ask me the question, since there's not many of you asking questions. Nishu Mathur is asking. Some people ask me a question, why do you go here and there? Why do you go to Maldives and Pahalgam and Kashmir and Gulmarg? I come here. You know why? I come here to do nothing. Because if I don't come here, they force me to do something. In my office at home, I am forced to do something. When I travel, I am free to do nothing. I reach that state of thoughtlessness. I reach that state of consciousness. I write my book. I read my book. I write bhajans. I record videos. I talk to you all. But when I'm in the office, they will come and say, this financial situation, what to do, this HR, this management, they still come to ask me questions. But when I travel, nobody comes to me. Therefore, it's always good to escape and go away. So Bisham is asking a question. I would like to take Bisham's question, then you keep Nishu's question, which is typed out. Yes, Bisham, time to ask your question.
Shivam Guruji.
Shivam Bisham.
How no
Have you lost?
and divine.
I missed the question.
Hello?
Can you please repeat loud and clear? Yes?
How to know what is the
Loud
reality,
and clear?
truth and divine? How to know what is the reality, truth and divine? Can you hear me, Guruji?
How to know what? Yeah. How to know what is the reality and truth about the
and
divine?
Yeah. Yes.
No, what do you mean? You want to know the reality and the truth about God? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
What do you mean by divine? Okay. The reality and the truth of the divine, the reality and the truth is God is one.
Okay.
There is no different gods. There are no different gods of. It's frozen.
Yeah.
Disconnect. Please reconnect. So there is no, even though there are many religions, I think the connection is gone. So I'm just waiting for the connection to come back. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I lost you for a minute. So although there are many religions in this world, God is one. We human beings we have made God into many religions. But in reality, there are no many gods. There's only one God. Unfortunately, because we have not realized the truth about the divine, we are praying to different gods. We are praying to 100 gods of 100 different religions. This is not correct. I'm shifting the... Ravindra, you can hear me, right? Can you hear me? Bishop, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So this is the connection. So my point is the truth. What is the truth about the divine? The reality and the truth that God is one power. God is not a statue. God is not a saint. God is a power. Where is this power? Bishop, where is this power? The power is inside you. The power is inside me. The moment this power leaves, there is no breath. There is death. Yes. So the point is that the power, what we think, God is in a temple, in a church. We pray to different, we go to different institutions, Gurudwara, mosque, but God is not there. God is everywhere. God is in the mountains. God is in the clouds. God is everywhere. God is in the flower. Unfortunately, we are not able to realize this. We are conquered by ignorance. This is called Maya. This is called avidya. Avidya means ignorance. So the reality and the truth of the divine is, you understand Hindi, right?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
So in Hindi they say, Prabhu hi ek satya, jag ye hai mithya, दिखता जो भी वो सच ना वो मिथ्या, जो भी दिखता है वो तो मिथ्या है, प्रभु बिन कुछ ना कुछ भी ना है, जो भी जग में है वो तो प्रभु ही है, प्रभु बिन जग में कुछ भी ना है, जग मिथ्या प्रभु सत्य हो, जग मिथ्या. This one little song I'm telling you has got the beauty of one life. You must understand this whole world is an illusion. This complete world is an illusion. But we don't realize it. We think this world is real. We think this is my house. No, this is not my house. This is a hotel. One day I have to vacate it. We think this is my son. No, one day this will not be my son. I will leave and go. We think this is my money. No, nothing is ours. That's why Prabhu, the divine or God, is a Satya. Jagat is Mithya. Mithya means it appears, but it is like a dream. The dream also appears, but it's not real. In the dream, if Bisham thinks, I am the President of the United States of America, will you go to White House tomorrow morning?
No.
Why you will not go?
It's a dream.
It's a dream. So also, even this world is like a dream. Why it's like a dream? Because when you wake up, you come to know you are not President of America, you are Bishop. But when you die, everything that happened in life was a dream, was just like a dream. But we don't realize it. So the answer back to your question, what is the reality and the truth of the divine? Everything in this world is a manifestation of God. Everything in this world. You saw these mountains, you saw this stream. This is not a stream. This is God. That's why it is so beautiful. But we human beings can't understand this. It is beyond our, because we are taught in our religion different things. We are taught our Lord lives in Kailasa. Our Lord lives in heaven. We are taught different things. So we don't realize the truth about God and the divine. Any more questions?
No, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guru.
So the next question. Ashok Chotwani, can you hear me? Ashok Chotwani, can you hear me? I'm just shifting from one camera to the other camera because of signal. Nishu Mathur, question. There are specific mantras or japs. Mahamrityunjaya mantra. They are chanted the specific goal. Do they really work that way? Do you know the meaning of the Mahamrityunjaya mantra? The Mahamrityunjaya mantra states, Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukmeva Bandhana Mrityor Mokshya Mamritat. The essence of this mantra is, O Lord, liberate me. O Lord, Om Triambakam Yajame, the three-eyed Lord, just like the Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam, just like the Sugandh spreads in this whole world. Urva Rukmeva Bandhana, just like the melon is got a bandhana of the creeper. Mrityor Mokshya Mahatmitat. Mrityor, at the death, give me moksha. Give me moksha. This is the prayer. Now this prayer, Nishu, is only meant for us to understand the mantra and to try and to attain that. By you saying this mantra 100 times, 1,000 times, God will not come and say, oh, Nishu Mathur, you are told so many mantras, million times. Come on, let me give you moksha. You think it will happen like that? It will not. The mantra must not only be understood, the mantra must be recited, devotion and dedication. Then the mantra will be effective. Otherwise, the mantra will not be effective. So I hope, Nishu, you have got the answer to the question. Next question, please. Bharava.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam, Sudhir.
Sir, I've been trying to do that sitting in silence that you asked me to do. So I try to do it at least 2-3 times a day. Now, what to do with the thoughts that do come in the mind? Because thoughts are coming. What I have tried is, I'll just share it with you. You can tell me if that is right or wrong and whether something else can be done. So what I do is when the thought comes, I just ask myself whether this thought is pertaining to anything in present or not. In most of the case, that thought will be either for the future or for the past. So the the moment I see that this thought doesn't pertain to the present, I just try to ignore it. Obviously, there is nothing in the present. In present, I have to sit silently only or watch my breath. So theoretically speaking, there should not be any thought. So that's a filter that I'm using. Can you please help me whether this filter is right? Because I've got some good results, but if I can improve upon it or something, or any feedback from your side.
See, Sudeep, the idea of sitting in silence does not mean that there will be no thought. Thought will arise. Thoughts are like waves. The wave will come. It's like an ocean. In an ocean, if there is no wind, the ocean may be slightly less active. But otherwise, the wave will come. So imagine the thoughts to be like waves. And imagine your life to be like an ocean. When you are sitting in that meditation, don't try to suppress your mind. So don't try to compress your mind. Don't try to suppress your mind. You need to observe your mind. You need to witness your mind. And the thought that comes, you leave that thought with the intellect. But if it's at a time of a meditation, your intellect will say, I will deal with it later on. But suppose you are doing meditation and the thought comes to you that there is a smell coming outside your room and your house is on fire. Then what will you do?
But that will be for the present now, so then the action can be taken.
No. I'm just giving an example to you.
Yes. Then obviously I need to come out of it.
So you do not suppress a thought. You let the thought arise as a wave, but you make sure the thought goes down and you keep observing the mind. The challenge of meditation is to become the witness. Just like in a beach. What do you observe in the beach? You observe the wave is coming, splashing and going back. It is splashing and going back. You keep observing the beach. Like that, you observe the mind. But don't get carried away by the mind, because the goal of the mind is to disturb your meditation. The goal of your mind is to rob the consciousness. So you had one more question part of this? Have I not been, I missed one part of your question?
No, nothing. Now I can ask you another part. At any stage of meditation, not at this stage, maybe I'm just beginning to do it, so I'll obviously take your answer. Does at any stage, do we try to calm the mind also? Because my understanding will be that if you want to look below a body of water, you cannot see below an ocean, because the ocean water is very it's full of waves. So you cannot see that. But if you want to look inside a lake, you can do that. If the water is clean, you can see, because a lake is not having many waves. So my understanding was that if I want to look at to the real consciousness, maybe the mind is covering that true consciousness. If the mind can be stilled, then the consciousness can be experienced. May not be at the stage, maybe it's at some advanced stage.
Have you ever been snorkeling?
Yes, I have done that.
Have you gone under the water and have you experienced the water what happens under the water?
Yes.
What happens over the water? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of wave noise. The moment you go below your head goes below the water, is there any noise?
No.
Where does the noise go?
Yeah, the noise gets, it's not there inside the water. There's no noise. Agreed.
Exactly. But outside the water, there's so much noise. So this is exactly what happens when you get into a real state of meditation. The noise disappears.
Okay.
The waves disappear. When you reach that state of consciousness, the sound of the waves disappear. The sound of the thoughts disappear. The thoughts are there. Thoughts are flashing. But you reach that state of divine consciousness. You reach that state of stillness.
Okay.
This is the best analogy I could have given you. I hope you contemplate on this analogy, please.
Sure.
It's the first time I'm giving this analogy, but it's a very deep analogy.
I'll think over it, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next. Krishna Sharma, are you there? Harshal, one new person is there. Harshal, I saw you asking a question, Harshal.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Harshal. Surinder Goyal will come to you next. I'm sorry, he's a new person. Surinder Goyal will be next. Harshal, please unmute and speak, Harshal.
शिवम प्रभु जी।
शिवम हर्षल।
2 दिन पहले मेरे फ्रेंड था, उसने सुसाइड कर लिया।
Speak loudly, please.
सुसाइड कर लिया उसने। सुसाइड कर लिया उसने।
हाँ,
तो मतलब
आपका फ्रेंड सुसाइड किया।
हाँ, मतलब उसके
नहीं,
प्रेशर
आपका
था
आवाज नहीं आ
फैमिली।
रहा है।
हेलो,
आपका
आ रहा है
आवाज
आवाज?
नहीं आ रहा है।
आवाज आ रहा है?
हाँ, अभी आ रहा है, अभी आ रहा है।
मेरा एक जो फ्रेंड था उसने मतलब प्रेशर में आके सुसाइड कर लिया।
ओके,
तो मतलब वेयर इज गोस्ट, मतलब वो कहाँ गया, मतलब उसकी बॉडी तो वहां पे थी और वो कहाँ गया, वही डाउट है मेरा।
तो बॉडी को जलाया नहीं जलाया?
हाँ, जला दिया।
बॉडी आपने देखा, बॉडी को जला दिया। तो आपका
हाँ।
फ्रेंड जो सुसाइड किया, वो परेशान था, आपका फ्रेंड, वो सुसाइड किया, उसका जिंदगी खत्म हो गया, बॉडी तो जला दिया, करेक्ट?
यस।
लेकिन आपका फ्रेंड का बॉडी जलाया, लेकिन आपका फ्रेंड को नहीं, आपका फ्रेंड किधर गया? आपका जो फ्रेंड है वो तो एक नया बॉडी में ऑलरेडी जन्म ले लिया, अभी वो आपका फ्रेंड नहीं है, अभी वो और किसी का बच्चा हो गया।
हाँ।
तो अभी उसके बारे में चिंता करने का कोई मतलब ही नहीं। अभी आप उसके बारे में परेशान है, आप परेशान होना
हाँ।
कंप्लीट पूरा वेस्ट है। आपका परेशानी का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है। वो सुसाइड किया, वो मर गया, उसका बॉडी जला दिया, और वो कहीं पे जन्म ले लिया, और आप उसके बारे में परेशान होता है। Forget it.
हाँ, वो
The story is over,
यस।
हर्षल।
यस प्रभु।
आप समझ रहे हैं मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ?
हाँ हाँ, मैं समझ गया।
प्लीज डोंट, अगर आप उसके बारे में सोचेंगे क्या होगा, अभी अगर आप उसके बारे में सोचेंगे तो क्या होगा? आप दुखी होंगे, आप चिंता करेंगे, आप नाराज होंगे, आप परेशान होंगे। करेक्ट, करेक्ट और नॉट?
करेक्ट करेक्ट, एब्सोल्युटली।
यू अग्री?
यस यस, आई एग्री।
तो आपको परेशान होना है, आपको दुखी होना
नहीं
है।
नहीं।
You want to be unhappy, you want to be miserable.
नो नो।
If you don't want to be miserable, if you don't want to be miserable, close the chapter and move on forward. Please close the chapter and move on. Forget about it.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Harshal?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Harshal. You can ask any question every day at 8 o'clock. You can ask any question. I think you're a new person. You can ask question. Next question from Surinder Goyal. Sorry for putting you next. Surinder Goyal, namaskar. Dr. Surinder Goyal. है सुरेंद्र गोयल जी? है डॉक्टर सुरेंद्र गोयल? अगर he is not there, then we'll come back to him. Ravindran.
Hello. Shivam, Ravindran here.
Yes, Ravindran.
Sir, I have one question. This is regarding this. When we talk Kali Yuga, they tell we are in the fifth phase of Kali Yuga, where we are facing a lot of pandemic and all those situations. Is it true because of nature? Because we have disturbed the ecosystem, extremely, like the pollution or the disturbance has created something which now even animals don't have this impact. It's only the humans are being under ice.
I'm sorry, I missed you. Can you just repeat it? Because of signal,
Yes.
I missed you. Can you
Yes,
please
yes.
repeat your question? Ravindran, can you please repeat your question?
Yes, yes. They all say that we are in the fifth Kali Yugam. Kali Yugam. We are in the fifth Kali Yuga, where there was ice age and it has destroyed the whole dinosaurs dynasty, and it has been cycles of things have happened. And after that, now we are facing it right now, the fifth one they are telling. Is it the reason is because of the ecosystem is being disturbed by humanity, or because it's only the pandemic is affecting the humans, not the animals? So what is
Ravindran, Ravindran, you please use your intelligence and tell me, how is it possible for anybody to record what happened in last 50,000 years when there was no written, no writing, no language available, no pen and paper available? How do we know what happened 1 million years ago and 10 million years ago and 1 billion years ago? Is it right to believe in all this, Ravindran?
No. One guess I would say that people have seen when you go crossing the airport of Hyderabad, you will be seeing a lot of stones which are carved very much clearly like a circular shape. You can see, they say that there was an ice age which has created this kind of carving on the.
How old is the ice age? When did the ice age happen?
Maybe some 10 million years back or 10, 15,000 years back. When dinosaurs.
How do we know? How might not know that? I want you to patiently listen to 2 points. One, how do we know the genuineness of this ice age? And two, more important question, how does that matter to our enlightenment?
No,
what matters is our happiness and our enlightenment and our liberation and unification with God. Nothing else matters. What happened 1 million years ago, 10 million years ago, is a complete waste of time. It is not our business. Ravindran, I am honestly telling you because my guru told me this. I asked my guru a lot of questions about the astral world. And we had a 1 week discussion. After 1 week, my guru folded his hands. He folded hands and he told me, please let us not argue on this matter or discuss because there is no proof what happened about the astral world and in the ice ages. We are wasting our valuable time. We must spend this valuable time in enlightenment and realization. Let us not waste our valuable time. So I am giving the same answer to you.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
So my humble, and that's my humble request to you. My humble request to you is do not get into a thought process which will take you round and round in circles and steal your enlightenment and steal your realization. What is more valuable to you is your realization. Thank you, Ravindran. Thank you so much. Is that Surinder Goyal is there? Dr. Surinder Goyal, are you there? Otherwise, I will answer Bridget's yesterday's question. Because I'm sorry I didn't answer Bridget's question fully because of the signal and Bridget is not happy with me. So Bridget, what was your question once again? You remember or you don't remember, Bridget?
You don't remember my question?
What was your question yesterday?
Yes.
I remember.
You remember?
But you do remember. What was your question?
But if you remember, answer me, please.
Yes, you asked how to be not attached to people and things that you love.
Yes, I would like to know.
Okay. So Bridget, how to be not attached with people that you love? Because love is positive, attachment is negative. How to be not attached is to follow what is called detached attachment. Detached attachment means that suppose your best friend knows you love them a lot. You don't show them that you don't love them. You love them a lot. But inside of you, you must realize that all relationships are temporary. That one day the relationship will break because we all have to go. Either your friend will go or you will grow. So how to live how to have not be attached and to love? First of all, realization of the truth that no relationship is permanent. And second point is this. Our love must be for everybody. That is the real love. When our love is only for one person and we become attached, that will make us unhappy. That attachment will create disappointment and we will become unhappy. Therefore, it is advised by the saints and the gurus and the masters, there should be love. Love is very good, but attachment is not good. We must have internal detachment inside us. Outside I can say, Bridget, I love you more than anything in the world. Oh, Bridget, how can I live without you? Very good. And I really love you. For example, I really love you. But inside in my heart, I should not have attachment. I should not, oh, Bridget has not come for today's session. Ask her. I get upset. Why Bridget has not come? Where is Bridget gone? What happened to Bridget? That is attachment. That is not good. We should not have that.
Okay, so I understand more.
I'm sorry about yesterday. The signal was not good, but I hope you're happy now. You got the answer?
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay. So
thank you so much for your answer, Guruji.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you all for being back on this call. And tomorrow, hopefully, every day we are working towards the better connection. But remember this before I close. The purpose of this call is to help you find the purpose of life. Life must have a purpose. We are not meant to just exist, to live and to die. So with folded hands, I request you, I bow down and humbly request you, don't just exist. Find out who you are and why you are here. Life has a purpose. This beautiful life has a meaning. Don't be a vegetable or don't be a tree. Just exist till you are uprooted from this earth. Please discover the meaning and the purpose of your life. I bow down to you and I thank you.